The cemetery was nearly empty, draped in a heavy mist that clung to the crumbling headstones. As the wind moaned through the trees, a small girl in a worn jacket approached one grave, clutching a ragged bouquet of wildflowers. She wasn't expecting company, but there, kneeling before her mother's grave, was a stranger, a man in an expensive suit, shoulders trembling, tears silently falling onto the cold earth. "Who are you?" The little girl demanded, her voice barely more than a whisper. The man turned, his face ashen, his eyes haunted. Two words slipped from his lips and the color drained from her face. "My wife." The girl froze. Her mother, a wife to this stranger. Before she could run, questions flooded her mind. Who was lying? Had her whole life been a carefully built illusion? And why, after all these years, was a powerful man grieving a woman he shouldn't even know? What secrets had her mother taken to the grave stay with us? Because what started as a chance encounter at a cemetery would unravel a breathtaking mystery, one that would change their lives forever. The autumn wind howled through Maplewood Cemetery, scattering golden leaves across cracked headstones and forgotten memories. 7-year-old Lily Carter clutched a bouquet of wildflowers wrapped in crumpled newspaper, her tiny fingers trembling as she walked the cobblestone path. Today wasn't just any day, it was the day her world had collapsed exactly 1 year ago. Her mother's name, Emily Carter, was etched into the cold stone ahead. The woman who once whispered bedtime stories and made pancakes from scratch had vanished in a hospital bed, while Lily waited at the window, never told how close death really was. Since then, no family, no home, only shelters like Hope Haven and a string of strangers who didn't care if she vanished. But this time, something was different. A tall man in a dark overcoat knelt by her mother's grave, his head bowed, his shoulders shaking ever so slightly. Lily stopped in her tracks, her chest tightening. Who was he? No one ever came here. No one but her. She took a step back. Was he crying? Was he dangerous? Her instincts screamed for her to run, but instead she found herself stepping forward. "Why are you at my mom's grave?" Her voice, though, small, cut through the brittle silence like a blade. The man looked up, startled, his eyes bloodshot, stormy, locked onto hers. His face was sharp, elegant, almost cold, but broken in a way she instantly recognized. He blinked, confused, as if seeing a ghost. "Your mom," he whispered almost to himself. Lily pointed. Emily Carter. "That's my mom." His body tensed. The color drained from his face. "That's not possible," he murmured, stumbling to his feet. "Emily Walker was my wife." Wife. The word struck her like ice water. Her mom had never mentioned a husband. Never. It was always just us. Lily. So who was this man? "You're lying," Lily said, clutching the flowers tighter. "My mom didn't have a husband. She never talked about you." The man's face collapsed with disbelief. "I'm Daniel Carter. We were married for 8 years. I didn't know she had a daughter that made 2 of them." They stood frozen, connected by a name on a headstone, and a woman they both thought they knew. 100 questions screamed through Lily's mind. Had her mom lied to her? Or was this stranger spinning some twisted story? Daniel noticed the holes in Lily's sneakers, the threadbare coat, the purple shadows under her eyes. "Where are you living?" he asked softly. She glanced away. "I move around," his voice lowered barely more than a breath. "Who takes care of you?" "I do." The silence that followed was heavy, crushing. Daniel's mind raced. Was this child really Emily's? Had she hidden Lily from him? All those years? Why, and if so, what else had she hidden? "Have you eaten today?" he asked suddenly. She flinched, not used to anyone asking that. She shook her head. "There's a diner near the gate. Emily used to love their blueberry pancakes." He gestured gently. "Would you come with me?" Lily hesitated. Run, stay, trust. And then a strange warmth rose in her chest. Maybe it was the way he said Emily's name. Maybe it was something in his voice that didn't feel fake. She nodded inside the warm diner. Lily devoured her pancakes in focused silence. Daniel watched her, stunned by how carefully she ate, rationing bites like each one had to last. She was small, too quiet, and carried herself like someone twice her age. "Where have you been living since Emily passed?" he asked, keeping his voice steady. Lily paused, shelters. Sometimes friends of my mom, mostly just wherever his heart ached. Did she ever tell you about me? No, she said it was always just us. Daniel sat back. She told me the same thing, that she had no one else. No children. They stared at each other across the booth like two pieces of a puzzle that never knew they were supposed to fit. Then Lily, with her wildflower-stained hands and world-weary eyes, looked up. So what happens now? Daniel took a breath. You won't be going back to that shelter. But in the back of his mind, something darker stirred. Why would Emily hide her child from him? Why would she live two separate lives? And what would he discover next? Thank you for staying with the story so far. I'm truly sorry to interrupt here, but we'll continue in the next part very soon. Now let me ask you something. Why do you think Emily kept Lily a secret from Daniel? Do you believe it was to protect her or to protect herself? If you found out someone you loved had lived a double life, would you forgive them or walk away forever? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. And also, where are you watching from today? If you're enjoying the story so far, don't forget to tap the like button and share the video with someone who loves powerful emotional stories. The air inside Daniel Carter's brownstone felt different now. It was the same quiet Brooklyn Heights home he'd lived in since before Emily died. Yet tonight, it breathed differently, as if her ghost had returned, not in shadow, but in the form of a fragile 7-year-old girl now sleeping in his guest room. Was Lily truly Emily's daughter? And if she was, how had he not known Daniel didn't sleep that night? He stood at the kitchen counter, nursing cold coffee, listening to every creak of the house like it might whisper an answer. Emily had been everything to him, warm, private, magnetic, but also a mystery. He had assumed it was just part of her charm. Now he wasn't so sure. The next morning, Lily shuffled in, wearing his oversized NYU sweatshirt as a makeshift nightgown. I couldn't find the bathroom, she said, voice soft. Daniel pointed down the hall. Second door on the right. When she returned, he had breakfast waiting. Scrambled eggs, toast, orange juice. She stared at it for a long moment before asking, You made this? I tried. He said, I'm no chef, but your mom wasn't either. She burned grilled cheese more times than I could count. A flicker crossed Lily's face. She always gave me the edges, said the burnt parts built character. That small detail struck him harder than he expected. It was real, unmistakably Emily. As they ate, Lily asked questions simple at first, but then sharper. How did you meet my mom? Were you really married? Did she smile a lot with you? Daniel answered truthfully, even when it hurt. Yes, they were married. Yes, he loved her. And yes, she smiled, but rarely with the kind of abandon a child remembers. Then it was his turn. Where did you and your mom live? Lots of places, Lily said. We never stayed more than a few months anywhere. She said she had a job that made us move a lot. What kind of job? She fixed paintings, museums, galleries, people's houses sometimes. That part at least aligned. Emily had been an art conservator. But how had she juggled that career while hiding a child? Did she ever talk about her past, he asked, where she grew up? Family, Lily shook her head. She said it was just us, always. So then why had she married him? Why the dual life? Later that day, Daniel drove Lily to a department store. She needed everything, clothes, shoes, supplies. But when he told her to pick out what she liked, she froze. This is enough, she said, holding 2 plain shirts and leggings. What about this? He asked, showing her a lilac dress with tiny embroidered stars. It's not practical. That answer punched him in the chest. What kind of childhood taught a 7-year-old to value practicality over joy? We're getting it anyway, he said, adding it to the pile, despite her protests. By evening, they returned to the brownstone. As Lily put her new clothes away neatly, Daniel did something he hadn't done in years. He called a private investigator. I need everything you can find on Emily Carter. He said, any aliases, old addresses, employment. I think she was living 2 lives. After hanging up, he found Lily curled on the couch with a leather-bound photo album. I found this, she said. It's her. With you. She turned the pages slowly. City Hall, wedding photos, candlelit dinners, shots of Emily smiling. She looks happy, Lily said. Was she? I thought so, Daniel replied. But now I don't know. She was happy with me too, Lily said firmly. Even if we didn't have all this, he nodded, accepting the quiet truth. She loved us both. But maybe in different ways, silence filled the room thick with things unsaid. Then Lily whispered, "What happens now?" "I don't know," Daniel said. "But until I do, you stay here safe." They sat together in the flickering lamplight, surrounded by fragments of a woman they both loved, but clearly never truly knew. And maybe they weren't supposed to, but now they had to find out what she was hiding and why. I'm sorry to pause here, but we'll continue in the next part very soon. Now I'd love to hear your thoughts. Do you think Emily was protecting Lily from something or someone? What could have scared her enough to live two separate lives? If you were in Daniel's shoes, would you want to keep digging into her past or let it rest and protect the child in front of you? Let us know in the comments. And where are you watching from today? If this story touched you or made you curious, please hit that like button and share this video with someone who appreciates stories with real heart and mystery. The wind outside rattled the windows of the Brooklyn brownstone. As Daniel stood in his office, the phone pressed tightly to his ear. The private investigator's voice was low, cautious. She was living under a false name, he said. Emily Wilson was an alias? Her real name was Sarah Cassidy. She entered witness protection 12 years ago, shortly before Lily was born. Daniel closed his eyes, breath caught in his chest. Witness protection? Why, he asked, his voice hoarse. She testified against Victor Kovac. The investigator continued, high-ranking money launderer, dangerous man. She was the key witness that helped put him away. But get this, he's up for early release next month. The words settled into Daniel's bones like ice. Why hadn't she told him? Why hadn't she trusted him? That night after Lily went to bed, Daniel retrieved the locket she always wore. Gently, he examined it, this small silver object Emily had made Lily promise never to take off. There was something odd about it. A tiny notch near the seam. Daniel pressed it gently. A soft click. The back panel slid open. Inside was a micro SD card. His hands trembled as he inserted the card into his laptop. One single file. A video. He pressed play. Emily's face appeared pale, tired, but composed. It was dated just weeks before her death. "If you're watching this," she began, "then I'm gone and you found each other. That means at least one thing went right." Daniel couldn't breathe. Lily's voice echoed down the hall, so he paused the video and stepped out of the office. She was sitting at the kitchen table, drawing quietly. "Lily," he said, "can you come with me for a moment?" She followed him back to the office, and together they watched the video. Emily's eyes softened as she addressed them both. "There's so much I never got to say. I never wanted you to meet this way, but I had to keep you apart. Kovac's people would have hurt anyone close to me, I thought. If I kept you separate, at least you'd both survive." Lily's eyes didn't leave the screen. She didn't cry. She just held onto Daniel's hand tighter. "I left behind evidence," Emily continued. "It's on a USB drive in my safe deposit box at Midtown Bank. Financial records, names, connections enough to keep him behind bars if he ever tries to resurface." The video ended with one final sentence: "Protect her and love each other." The next day, Daniel and Lily walked into the marble lobby of Midtown Bank. A few signatures, a marriage certificate, and a quiet explanation. Later, they were alone in a private room with a safe deposit box, inside the USB, a velvet pouch with an unmarked key, and a second letter addressed to Lily. "I've always been proud of you," it said. "You're stronger than you know. And now you have someone who will walk with you. You are not alone." As they walked out of the bank, Lily slipped her hand into Daniel's without saying a word. Weeks passed. Emily's files were turned over to the right people. Kovac's release was blocked after new charges surfaced. The FBI took interest, quietly but seriously. Lily began attending school. Daniel started adjusting his life around morning drop-offs, PTA emails, and nightly bedtime stories. And slowly something changed. It wasn't just guardianship, it was family. One afternoon, as fall began to color the city gold, Lily was working on a family tree project for school. Daniel walked past her, sketching carefully on the living room floor. "There's a space for father," she said. "Should I put you there?" Daniel stopped, heart caught between hesitation and hope. "Only if you want to," he said. "I do." Lily replied. It wasn't dramatic, it was simple, honest, and yet he would remember it forever. A few months later, the adoption was finalized. Lily Carter, daughter of Emily, daughter of Daniel. Their first visit to Emily's grave together was quiet. Lily laid down a bouquet of wildflowers just like the ones she brought the first time Daniel saw her. "I think she'd be happy." Lily said, "I think she'd be proud of you," Daniel replied. As they walked back to the car, Lily turned to him. "Do you think people can love two lives at once?" she asked. Daniel thought for a long moment. "Maybe, but I think the most important love is the one that stays, even after everything falls apart." That night, he found Lily's drawing left on the coffee table. It was a picture of the three of them, Emily, Daniel, and Lily, standing beneath a tree with golden leaves. At the top, she had written, "Our beginning." And somehow Daniel knew Emily had given them exactly that. Their beginning. I'm really sorry to pause here, but I hope you felt every moment in this journey with Lily and Daniel. Now I want to ask you, if you discovered someone you loved had lived a double life, would you forgive them, especially if it was to protect you? Do you believe secrets kept out of love can still cause deep harm, or do you see them as a necessary sacrifice? I'd love to know where you're watching from. Drop it in the comments. And if this story touched you, please like this video, share it. And if you truly felt something deep, comment no 3 below. If it didn't quite land for you, comment no. 1, and if it was just okay, leave a no. 2, every comment helps this story reach more hearts.